Okay, today's going to be the first of a series of videos. We're going to go through the process of, we're going to take this 26-inch Schwinn Cruiser 5. This is a 1980 Schwinn Cruiser 5, and we're going to turn this into a two-speed cruiser. Going to put some different wheels on it, different tires on it, seats, handlebars. We're going to clean up the chrome. We're going to keep a few things original on the bike. We're going to wet sand the bike. We're going to go over all these rough spots right here, and we're going to put new decals on the bike. We're going to clean it up real good, get all this rust free, replace some of these parts, and we're going to put some new decals. We're going to do a series of videos as we go through it, probably 4 or 5 videos, short videos, just showing the process. And so you can see we're starting out with it's a 1980 Schwinn Cruiser 5. It's a 26-inch bike. This was a well-built bike. This bike actually came with a drum brake on the back. So it was a 5-speed, and then it had the drum brake on the back. It had the thumb shifter up here for the 5-speed. So we're gonna get rid of most of that. We're gonna put a 2-speed Bendix 26-inch on the back with some large tires on it, and we're gonna make this a real smooth, vintage-looking cruiser. The paint's gonna have that rough but smooth look. It's gonna show all of its markings and with new decals, and then cleared back over. And then everything that's chrome, we're gonna get really shiny. Also, all the chrome's gonna look really nice. The paint's gonna look really vintage and captured in time. Decals are gonna be new, and it's just gonna be a really good riding, simple bike. We'll probably keep the handbrakes on the front. So this is where we're starting. Kind of get some close-ups on what we're starting with. So you kind of see the paint. The paint's really not that bad. This is going to come out really good. Of course, you got your work. That looks like to me that's going to be the worst mark right there. We'll smooth all that out right there. So, but structurally, everything's really straight on this bike. Nice and sound, starting point. And so the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to separate everything out, what we're going to keep and what we're not going to keep. So next video will show what we're going to leave on the bike. All right, so we got the bike taken apart. Now we're going to look at what we're going to keep original from the incomplete bike that we started with, and we're going to show what we're adding new. So this bike here is already been purchased, and we're building this for someone. So this customer, he has a lot of input on some of the parts that we're adding as far as the new parts go. So of course, we got the frame, and it's, as we saw before, it's a 1980 Cruiser heavyweight frame. So of course we're going to keep that. We're going to keep the original crank. We're going to use the crank from it. This should all clean up pretty nicely. We're going to keep the seat post if it'll clean up well enough. I'm going to give it my best shot to use it. If not, that's a pretty easy piece to find and replace. Now the original forks, we damaged the threads were damaged. We took them off because of rust. So I got a replacement fork. This is one off of a Cruiser from the 50s, and so this is what we're going to use. Exact same dimensions, same color. The paint matched pretty well. We're going to take off that original decal. We're going to put new decals on it. We'll talk about that in a second. And the original chain guard. We're gonna clean all that off. New decals are gonna go on that. We'll show those, and we're gonna use the front brake. Probably gonna have to replace the cable and brake pads, but we'll get to that as we move on. So that's everything from the original bike. Now what we're gonna add here is, so we have these wheels that I've already built. So it's going to be a Bendix 2-speed back wheel, and we put some Fat Frank's tires on it. So that's going to make a really nice, smooth riding cruiser. So that's our wheel set that's going on this bike. And here's the front wheel. And then then we've added, so this is going to be an aftermarket set of handlebars with a BMX mountain bike style neck on it. And so they're going to put these handlebars on it. And along with that, we've got some new pedals. We have a new heavy-duty, comfortable seat. We're going to put a nickel-plated chain on this bike. And we're going to change out the head badge. So we're going to put this gold head badge on there. It's the same 1980 date code head badge. It's just a gold with the black. So we're gonna replace that white one. So that should look nice with the black. And all that's gonna tie together with the decals that we're gonna use. So we're gonna put these gold decals on the bike. And I think we're gonna start with the forks, because we've got two different options on the forks. I've never used this style of decals, but it had good reviews. It's supposed to be a vinyl, it's not a water transfer. So we'll use one set, make sure it comes out right, and before we do the rest of the bike. All right, so our next video, our next section, we'll have the bike kind of like a soft build. We're gonna make sure these wheels and tires fit, handlebars look all right on there, seat. So we're just gonna kind of put everything together, and then before we start doing all the wet sanding. All right, so that's where we'll pick it up at. Thank you. All right, so we got everything put together, just on the soft loose build. What we're really looking at here is make sure the main thing was the wheels are going to fit and not going to rub with the frame anyway. We were pretty sure it was, because this was a heavyweight Schwinn frame, so it had S2 wheels on the front and back, so it would accommodate and accept these big tires with these wheels. And so everything looks good. We got good spacing. Seat looks like it's going to fit fine. The handlebars went in. It's going to tighten up and not have too much slack there. And the only thing we saw is we're gonna have to, of course, we're gonna have to go with a longer brake cable to accommodate for the high-rise handlebars. So that's gonna be it for now. We're gonna take it apart. We're gonna start the wet sanding. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the decals on the forks, make sure these decals are gonna work. And so in the next video, we should have some decals laid with a clear coat over the top. Okay, so we're going to take a look at, this is the final segment of our 1980 Schwinn Cruiser. So the bike is complete now. And so we got everything back together. We rode it for a while, rides great, got the handbrake in place. So a couple things we talked about that we were on the fence. So I did change the brake cable. So that's a new brake cable there. And I was going to go with the nickel plated chain, but I ended up going in with this BMX style black and gold chain, which looked good with the decals. And one other thing that we did was we went with these, they're called Vans Cool Stop brake pads, so it basically looks like a shoe. And then of course we added the valve caps, the dice valve caps there. They're also in the black and gold. So everything came out good. The bike rides great. And now you can kind of see what we were talking about before we got started. How this red primer, whenever you do that wet sand and you remove a lot of the things that want to fall off and get all the rust off the frame, and you end up exposing some of that red primer, but it looks really good, and it seems to look the best with the black. The black really makes the red primer come out. And then so these are the gold decals, which we were kind of on the fence about because they were vinyl, but they ended up being easy to work with. They went on and we cleared right over the top of them, and everything looks pretty good. And then of course, we'll show some photos. It'd be tough to see on the video, but we modified the down tube one a little bit to put our logo on it. They didn't actually have the Schwinn quality on there, so we cut out what they had on there and added the logo. So here's the package for the. So this is what the brake shoes came in. So they're called Vans brake shoes. You kind of see right here. It says Cool Stop. It's kind of written. It's hard to read there, but. And then this is we use this black and gold BMX Japan-made chain. That's a high-quality chain. So those went on really good. Kind of brought everything together with the look of the bike, and of course the owner of the bike. He chose the handlebars this style, and he's got the skull hand grips on there. And all the mechanics worked out. The bike works great. These back front tires look really nice. Ride great on the bike. So it was a nice build. This is something that if someone was interested in, we could do another one. And I hope you enjoy the videos and see the way the bike came along. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.